So therefore, clearly, there is this post-career professional looking for opportunities, and therefore that's one important trend that you are seeing. At the other end, you're talking about organizations wanting flexible workforce, and therefore, at least the fact that they should change the way they hire,
Correct.
there needs to be a new way of thinking where what percentage is flexible. So can you talk about that, and how do you really connect and plug in this need?
So again, a very insightful question, Swami. This is the idealistic scenario, right? The idealistic scenario is organizations want to do this, people want to work. Here's the reality on the ground. The reality on the ground is change is difficult. Change is very, very difficult. The gig work economy. So in a way, what we are doing is we are doing gig work for seniors or more seasoned professionals. Gig work for younger people has finally been accepted, right? So if you want a UI UX designer, you want this, that, people will plug in and get these people. You'll go to the Upworks and Fiverrs of the world, and you sort of find people and do it. But there is nothing that exists for this larger segment. People want to, but they don't know how to. So they default to what they know. Therefore, changing this. So if you go to any organization, and you tell them, look, I can get you this expert, and they know exactly what to do, but they will not come full time. They'll be like, oh, So the reaction is, so when the rubber hits the road, they'll be like, okay, I don't know what to do. So my view is it's going to take longer. So it needs a narrative change. It needs like we have, mutual fund sahi hai, right? Sort of a narrative change. And similarly, you need a narrative change that, look, it's okay to actually have wiser people on your payroll to help your organization do better things. But the case is a very value-driven case. I actually, in fact, initially when we started, some people suggested, look, this is a diversity inclusion situation, right? You should, and this is that question you had asked me, I think, before we started recording, on this intergenerational piece. So here's what's going on in the world, right? In the world, and of course, in a president of a country has actually changed the definition of a diversity and inclusion, but DEI started getting age diversity as a part of diversity and inclusion.
Okay.
What we have found out in talking to hundreds of people, if not thousands, is this segment does not want to be treated as a diverse segment. Right? They're saying, hire us for what we know and what we are good at. Don't tell me I'm a part of diversity quota because I'm old. So there is ageism, but let's not overly play out the ageism scenario and give us inclusion because of ageism, right? So they say, so therefore our pitch to organizations is, here's the value that they add. So again, this is a Neeraj metric, which is the per unit cost of wisdom is lower as you get older, right? And it's valuable, but what I'm saying is the actual cost for a company is lower because people are not driven by money only. They're driven by respect a lot more, relevance a lot more. So I think we are seeing the change happen. There are, like I said, we've actually already worked with more than 250 organizations. So we are actually quite positive that this is picking up. But what we are also finding, Swami, is the aspiration that we have doesn't exist, right? I mean, there's hardly any company in the world trying to attempt doing what we are doing at scale. There are companies who've tried, who basically said, look, again, the same logic, supply is there, but getting demand is difficult. So I tell people, our real job as Wisdom Circle is more from what we said earlier, which is a platform, everything, to we are evangelists to create jobs for this segment, to create meaningful work opportunities for this segment. So the conversation I have with everyone is, are there roles in your organization where you feel a problem can be solved by good people or good expertise and you need it now? That's the pitch. So that's what we are doing. We are, again, because now we are in different markets, we can actually do a lot of cross-border In fact, the other learning is there are wisdom pockets in the world that need to get connected. So, for example, there's a pocket of engineers sitting in Germany. There's a pocket of mining folks sitting in Chile. There are people who are good at finance and commercial stuff, a lot more sitting in London and New York. So how do you connect wisdom pockets of expertise to countries, companies, spaces, functions that need the expertise? So we are thinking from equalizing the world kind of perspective, and it's now possible, right? This wasn't possible pre-COVID. Now remote work is possible. Payment across borders has become possible. Of course, you have to make sure labor laws are covered and you're doing the things the right way. But anyway, that's what we do.